I had been very involved in music throughout my childhood and surrounded by artists all the time. My parents both were artists, and so the concept of living one's life as an artist was already kind of part of my everyday. I began my studies at the Third Street Music School settlement in New York City. There was just so many kids from all different backgrounds, and so I think playing music in that environment was totally unique and set a foundation for like how I envision music existing in the world, really. When I think about people coming together, it's all different people. It's all the diverse, backgrounds and experiences. The belief in, that music and art is for all was just foundational to my upbringing. So that idea of music being available to anyone who wants it is absolutely part of my core philosophy as a teacher.
I met Jessie originally when she was first part of the Sphinx competition. Fast forward a few years later, she was a part of the Sphinx Virtuosi, at the time called the Sphinx Chamber Orchestra. I remember meeting her and understanding at that time that she was a great violinist, but also a composer. When I learned that she was a composer, I asked her if she would mind writing a piece for the Sphinx Virtuosi. Born was the piece called Starburst, which is played all over the world today.
I have many different ways of bringing music into the world. That's kind of how I look at it. More and more, I'm starting to see it as a service. A part of my purpose is in serving through music.
She understands the mechanics of the orchestra, the mechanics of the instruments, and she knows how to make them blend into a beautiful sound that paints whatever picture or story she's trying to tell. She tells the stories of the times, and she writes from her heart.
If you understand Jessie's music, she's really keen and aware of what's going on in society, and she really encourages her students to be aware of what's happening in the society, in the news, so that that can be communicated to her audiences.
I think one of the hardest lessons as I've gone along in my career is protecting the integrity of the ideas that I'm portraying in my music. Sometimes I write about identity. It's extremely important to me and inspiring to deepen my connection to my cultural heritage. And in some cases, my Black and female identity are not part of the music. I have to leave room for whimsy and playfulness in my work. I think that's part of the freedom of being, of being an artist, is to choose which way you want to go, when, what you want to express, and for what reason.
She doesn't really try to fit in a box. She kind of makes her own pathway. We need people like her so that people can see themselves on stage. To see Jessie go from the living room of her home to the Sphinx competition, to the Sphinx Virtuosi, now on a national stage, a Grammy-winning composer, is someone that all of us can relate to.
Jessie Montgomery is changing the industry as we know it.
They say we artists happily get categorized as being open and curious. I think that aspect of humanity is really needed in this world, and I feel very fortunate to be able to tap into that and share that.